Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Ideal. I'm going to start off with a game I quite like to play. I've got a timer here. I want you to
I'm stressed already.
I want you to describe your journey from basically birth to where you are today in 25 seconds.
What?
Whoa.
I like it because it manages to get to key points straight away, but whoever wants to go for it, or if you both want to do it at the same time, go. I've got a timer, so it's first. You've got 25 seconds to go from birth to where you are today. 25 seconds. Who wants to go for it?
Big brother.
Yeah, you go first.
I'll go for it. You go after that.
I'm panicked.
Fine, right. Timer starts now.
Okay. 1990, born in my house. School around my area. Quick skip to secondary school, Winchester College on the south coast, Nottingham University, Spain for a year, back in working in the city, quit my job, Chuku's, now we're here.
That was 20 seconds, just bang on. I like that.
All right.
Do you want to have a go?
Do I want to have a go? No, I don't have a choice.
You don't have a choice.
All right, okay.
All right, Iffy, go.
1992, Easter Sunday, born in my house, Essex, school around the area, Cambridge University, Martinique in the Caribbean for 8 months, France for a few months. Oh, there was a dance school just before that. Come back just after Chuku's. Some more dancing gets picked up and playwriting, and then Chuku's. I've definitely forgotten stuff.
25 seconds.
Strong.
Brilliant, strong. So I like that because it sort of cuts to key moments, but obviously to go into a bit more detail.
That's my heart hasn't recovered. I feel really tense.
It's hard work.
So, not to ask a cliche question, but why did you guys start Chuku's?
Well, as I said, we've grown up in London. We've got a whole wide variety of friends, and always there was a frustration when we were growing up that we couldn't share some of our culture with them. We didn't know where we could go and take them and say, look, this is what I'm like at home, or what I do at home. And the other thing is, like, we always used to have good food at home, and good Nigerian food with our mum or our grandmother.
Yeah.
But apart from eating at home or at my grandmother's house, there wasn't really anywhere that we felt we could go to eat out, and especially in the areas that we were going. So those two challenges, kind of after 20 odd years of frustration, we thought, look, let's actually do something about it and put our own mark on the Nigerian with Nigerian food.
Of course, and I think sometimes the best ideas actually are born out of frustration and almost solving a problem for yourself first, and odds are other people are going to have that same frustration as well, so you can bring other people together. But would you sort of say the same thing along those lines?
Yeah, it really was like that. Like Emeka and I, it's funny because when we started, we'd actually started many years before. So Emeka and I, maybe when I was even 20, had started talking about the Nigerian restaurant idea. We've gone through several...
2010, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so we went through several ideas before we actually started Chuku's, but we never really hit upon anything that we were really passionate about. So we'd be like, oh yeah, this one, and then we'd like fall off, and then we'd like, oh, how about this one, and then we'd like fall off.
Is this sort of the names for the restaurant itself, or the idea?
No, it was the
concept.
concept. So the name...
Did you have any names before Chuku's that just didn't work?
We were running with it
ones
for a
that you
while.
liked?
We ran with Chuck's Lounge.
Oh yeah, we had Chuck's for Chuck's Lounge.
But people were saying it Chuck's.
Yeah,
that's right.
yeah, then it was getting Chuck's, and then
like
we had
an American Diner, and we got rid of that.
Yeah.
That's what I remember. One person went, "It sounds like an American Diner." We're like, oh, no.
I think it was all your friends, in fact.
Mine.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I know, like,
and then we had them, and then for a long time we were Chuku's Nigerian Tapas Lounge.
Okay.
And we ran with the lounge idea. The whole lounge idea is the idea of lounging and the chilling. Yeah. But then it just was adding confusion because we are fundamentally about food. And so it is a restaurant concept. So it was just us trying to explain more, and it just wasn't really working. So
but you've got that sort of subtext of chop, chat, and chill.
Exactly. And that was always.
And interestingly though, when we came up with that, I can't remember how we came up with that now. I don't think we ever realised it would like pick up as quickly as it does. Like the amount of times people really go, the 3 C's, chop, chat,
I personally love alliteration anyway, so it's so easy to stick to the brain. I think it definitely does work for sure because people pick up on it really easily.
Yeah, and I think it really just like sums up what we do.
Yeah, 100%. So who came up with that sort of moniker first?
I'm pretty sure if they came up with that moniker.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure of that one.
It's funny you said moniker, and I'm actually thinking of fish now.
Oh, okay.
Moniker, what type of fish?
So there's a restaurant which has a fish which is grilled tilapia, which is obviously a fish which we eat a lot of in Nigeria, and they call it the moniker. My understanding is because it's named after the restaurateur's wife. Okay. And when we used to go to the restaurant, our mum always ordered the grilled tilapia. So moniker was the.
I think a lot of tilapia in my time.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess that sort of feeds into the next question. Have you guys got a background in cuisine or a background in cooking itself?
I have a background in eating.
Likewise, I do as well. Yeah.
I guess so. I would say now, because actually, when you go to uni and you realise some people really can't cook, you're like, wow, like.
Yeah, we don't really have a professional background of cooking. Yeah. But like we grew up with our mum in our mum's house, always in the kitchen watching what she did. Yeah. I remember my first foray into the kitchen when we were like 5 or 6. So we were always in there doing bits, and then going to our grandmother's house and seeing what she does. And I think critically is those two kind of big culinary influences in our life, because they both cook Nigerian food, but in their own way. And I think from that made us so confident that look, when we're doing Nigerian food, we can always put our own style in it. Yeah. And I don't necessarily even start with the word spin. It's just that your own creativity, your own style. Whatever, what you feel, how you feel that you're gonna chop that tomato, or that let me add that different spice. Yeah. So when we then started to come, with the Nigerian restaurant, we had those influences of mum and our grandmother from when we were at home. But then we've taken on all the ideas that we've seen as we've grown up in the UK, and then our travels from if I was in Martinique and then she was in France, I was living in Spain, but then also so we've grown up in the UK, so we've seen a whole range of culinary affairs, and so it's just really about bringing all of those things, all together. Of our identities. There's a lot of soul that's in the restaurant, a lot of Ife's and I's personalities, and that's where it comes from. Yeah, that's where it comes from.
I mean, I did a lot of research. You guys have travelled a lot. You've been to a few different places, so I can understand why it probably comes from there as well. But if you could pick one place that's maybe influenced Chuku's the most from a food perspective, what would you say that place would be?
Oh.
I'll go again.
You go first. I think my one's different.
Yours is slightly different. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't think it's that hard.
It's difficult to pick one, I guess.
No, not really. No? I mean, look, it's Nigerian food.
Yeah.
So Nigeria is like where we still buy kuli kuli, which is the mixed spice in Northern Nigeria. Yeah. Suya spice. It's still very much what we're trying to bring across. Then obviously living in Spain. Yeah. That's where there was the tapas. Yeah. And that hasn't influenced the actual individual dishes, but it has influenced the style of that we serve it in terms of the small plates. But also, there's a whole culture of tapas, which is around the whole way that people do social dining, of and really interact with each other, and it's just a real sharing of a moment. Yeah. And that sort of
it's more of a social element than just food. Obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
The Spanish element brings to it.
Exactly, and I think thinking about our own culture in Nigerian social culture. Yeah. Food's at the heart of any occasion. Any party, you go to a house party, it's hosted by a Nigerian, you're expecting there to be food.
That is true, that's true.
And so it was
like
really
an unspoken truth.
Yeah, it's unspoken.
Come round to say hello.
Yeah.
Come round to
do you know what I mean?
That's what it really means.
Yeah, exactly. So in a way, Chuku is which is possibly why we start with the lounge. Yeah. The food is there and it's key. But actually, what we're really doing is we want some people to come and socialise. Yeah. And obviously, as a Nigerian, if you're going to socialise in our home,
they'll
give you food as well. Would you say something similar to that as well, or?
Yeah, I think from the food point of view, it has to be Nigeria because of what we do. But also, I think when we came upon the idea of Nigerian tapas, actually, my first experience of tapas was in Grenada. Okay. And I went to a restaurant with my dad called, I think it's Patrick's. Yeah. And it's a Caribbean tapas restaurant. Wow. So whilst over here, everyone was like, oh my God, Nigerian tapas, like, how can you do that? Like, that's so mad. My first experience of tapas had been tapas mixed with another culture. So for me, when we had it, I was like, oh, of course we can do that, because I've seen it done in Grenada, like 100% we can do it. And I actually think my whole time just in the Caribbean didn't really necessarily influence the food, but very much what Meg said about putting ourselves and our personalities. that social element and that idea of making a place where people feel welcome,
Yeah,
really came from my time there, where I was essentially a stranger in this land, and like everyone just extended their homes to me, and everyone was just so warm and welcome. I was used to talking to strangers. I used to hitchhike across like the town, so I was always talking to strangers.
Why were you in Grenada? Was it just a holiday?
No, Grenada was just a holiday, but
okay.
I moved to Martinique to teach English and perfect my French. And then while I was there, I was island hopping during my school holidays.
Didn't just want to stay in one place.
When you've got an opportunity like that, you've got to take the most of it.
No, of course. I wanted to move on to the influence of parents and what they might have on decisions that you make. From a Nigerian to another Nigerian, it's obvious and it's cliche that it's always law, engineering or medicine that you have to do. Did your parents object to you going down this route, and if so, was there a challenge in trying to face that at all, or
no?
Not at all.
No. I think that, first of all, I think Emeka and I are fortunate that we're not the oldest anyway.
Yeah.
So it was actually our big sister that took on the law fight when she wanted to go and do PR.
Yeah.
So by the time we came along, it was like, we
it sort of softened them a little bit already.
Yeah. Though I remember Mum gave you loads of stick over your course.
What course did you do?
For economics.
No, but when she wanted to go to Oxford. Anyway, it's fine.
Yeah.
But, so by the time we get gone to uni or even graduated, at least on my side, I think my mum was anyway delighted still because I went to Cambridge. So like that was, I had like a golden ticket for a couple of years. And both our parents have always been very much of the opinion, like, do what makes you happy.
Okay.
And both of them are, like, our dad runs his own business anyway, and my mum is very entrepreneurial.
Yeah.
And like, since we've been young, like our mum's always been like, you can start your own business, like you'll be making something. She's like, that, you could sell that.
Yeah.
So I think to hear that we were now going to go into business and then together, that like it was like a dream for them both.
That's interesting, because usually it's not what do what makes you happy, it's do what makes me happy. That's what they don't say that, but I just feel sometimes that's what Nigerians project a little bit.
Yeah, so I think I kind of alluded to already.
Yeah.
You know, with our mum's cooking.
Yeah.
Like, our mum was born in Nigeria, but unlike a lot of our friends who are Nigerian friends and Ghanaian friends, and you know, who are part of the whatever diaspora, both our parents spent most of their childhood years in the UK. Okay. So I think that sort of formative years, or a lot of your formative years, a lot of your life, in the UK, you kind of they also have different influences and their own kind of their own thinking. But I think that if they touched on about us working together in business, for our mum in particular, it was such a big thing anyway that we were going to work together and do our own business. Actually that was a win. That was a big win for it. I think fundamentally, I don't think anything else would actually topped it for her.
Of course, yeah.
I think the other thing is, our mum is very open-minded, and where her fight actually started was school. Okay. Yeah, making sure that we went to schools which gave us breadth of mind, and breadth of opportunity and breadth of network. And it's funny, Ife and I were talking the other day about this about 6 months ago. And we were just thinking about how fortunate we were in terms of schools, not university, school itself. So that doing that, from was it 5 to 18? She had already set us on a certain path, and I suppose with that kind of comfort, you can kind of leave them to their own devices, because you probably know they're going to go and do some of the right things, and you've done everything they need to. Our dad's a lot more. It's similar, but he's even more like just laid back. Do what you love. So I remember, I remember when I was about to quit my job. As I said, I was working in the city.
Where were you working, if you don't mind me asking?
I was working at a company called Accenture. So I was strategy consulting.
It's a pretty big job, I guess. To sort of walk away from. Definitely.
And it all happened very quickly.
I
actually really liked what I was doing. I was working in a really cool department, helping large corporates with their social, ethical, environmental challenges. And one Tuesday, I'd just come back to work after being off for an operation for about 6 weeks.
Yep.
And I was chatting to a supplier who was going to be supplying some drinks for Chukus, and he asked me, you know.
So you were doing this already whilst you were working at a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. I was doing some like dinner parties with friends.
Yeah.
And then he asked me, you know, when are you gonna go and do this properly?
Yeah.
And I didn't have an answer, and for that reason, I just thought, you know what, let's go and do this.
Yeah.
And that was about 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I quickly called my sister, who's in France at the time. Said I'm gonna quit my job.
Yeah.
She's like, what are you doing?
Was that on the day?
On the day. As I said, I had the conversation at 10 o'clock.
Did you plan to have that conversation? Or?
No. I was asking him about some drinks.
Yeah.
You know, and I need some drinks for a dinner party that we was gonna be doing.
Yeah.
And from that, I decided I was going to quit. I called my dad. We met up for dinner that evening in the city.
Yeah.
And he knew I had said I wanted to speak to him.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
And I said,
what did he say?
I said, do you think, you know why? He's like, well, there's only going to be 2 reasons.
Yeah.
Either you get your girlfriend pregnant.
Yeah.
or you quit your job.
Yeah.
And one of them would have been silly. Would have been a bit silly.
Okay.
And so that sort of.
That's exactly how my dad is.
That's sort of like, you know, relax.
Cool.
You know, relax. We're willing for you guys to make your own mistakes.
Yeah.
And then also them having the confidence that they know they've done everything they've needed to put us on the right path.
Yeah.
It means that they're very comfortable and very supportive of what we do. Very supportive. I think our whole family actually.
Yeah.
You know, sister, younger sister, a sister younger than Ife, and I have a sister older. You know, and everyone's just. It's not a family business. We don't often say it's a family business as such, but it is. You know, we're a family and they have the whole ecosystem around.
I guess that feeds into the next point I wanted to make as far as working at Accenture is concerned, or going to a good school. What sort of traits would you say you developed or innately have that need you to be good at starting a business? Because everyone knows it's not a straightforward thing, but what would you say that you found is incredibly like a non-compromisable, you have to be able to be good at this to start and run a business?
I don't know if school instilled it in me.
Yeah.
Actually, probably like
one
particular teacher, like the way my school was, my primary school.
Everyone remembers their teachers, by the way.
Mr. Greenwood. Like,
Mr. Greenwood.
Everyone loves Mr. Greenwood. Order and organisation. Okay. Like my school was very particular. Had a very specific uniform. You had to have everything was very set. Even the way we had to write in our books was very set. And so that way, America's laughing because I'm actually really anal. I'm still like that now. Like I'm very like.
That's not why I'm actually laughing.
OCD.
No. Literally, I'm just particular. I like order. I think
someone who's got ACD never says they got ACD.
I like
so true.
I like order.
I'm not a control freak at all. I just like to control stuff.
No, I am. I'll admit I'm controlling. I've given up trying to pretend I'm not controlling. I am. But that school was very like that, and like we always had homework, and there was always a structure.
Okay.
And like to me that made sense, and from year 3 onwards, like you had end of year exams. I'm used to studying and preparing and revising, and that just kind of organising my time in that way.
Yeah.
So when it came to GCSEs, A levels, uni, like that wasn't something I found difficult, having all this free time and learning how to manage it. So now when you work for yourself, people are like, oh, don't you just like want to watch TV all day? I'm like, well,
yeah.
I don't get that because I've got stuff I need to do. So I would just organise my time.
Yeah.
And I also think having been to schools where like I've done a lot of exams and I did a lot of entrance exams, and actually when I was doing them at the time I never felt like it was too much pain. I knew where I wanted to go, so I was like, something I just had to do. If I want to go to that school, I've got to revise and get the exam. If I want to get that grades for uni, I need to buckle down. And like I remember cutting off my Facebook and everything back in A levels, and it was like, oh my god, I was like, look, I need to get my grades, like it's not worth it. So when we now come to doing the business, I'm quite used to focusing and cutting out distractions or taking on a pain, knowing what the bigger thing is, if that makes sense. For me, my end goals have always been the thing that's driven me through. But on the flip side, if I'm not passionate enough about the end goal, then I'm not going to do something. So I'm not the sort of person that can be motivated solely by money or prestige or something like that. I have to love and care about the thing I'm doing and really want it. And when I've got that desire, I can push through anything. I don't know if that's innate or whether that got nurtured by my parents or school, but I think everything together, that's definitely something.
So order is definitely one thing you'd say is
order and ability to also just like hold on to why you're doing something and just push through, to just not reply to that text or to not just to get the stuff done and suck up the pain essentially.
I think sometimes people think just because you're passionate about something, it's always going to take you through the hard times. It's going to be all willy-nilly and easy, but
it's hard.
It's not the case, is it? There's got to be some days where you just feel like, oh, I allow it.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like that sometimes, or even if you do, you still think my vision's going to take me through this anyway?
Yeah, like so I was actually laughing because my answer was going to be very similar.
Okay,
keep it short so I can answer your next question.
Yeah, of course.
Which is about discipline.
Yeah.
You know, that was something which, for me, school, you know, especially I ended up going to boarding school, you know, which was not, you know, what you would think of people being caned and stuff, but there was very much a discipline, you know, about, you know, when we did things and how we did things and doing things of the right quality and doing things that you don't necessarily like. You know, we used to do community service on a Wednesday afternoon. You know, that was something we did every Wednesday afternoon. If I wasn't in the community service, because I was actually in the military, we had to do like army or RAF and things like that. Yeah. So that sort of work ethic, you know, just plays into what you're doing now. And I think the other thing is, you know, then continually pushing you out of your comfort zone. You know, we had theatre and sport, and you know, if you weren't sporty, it didn't matter. You were still encouraged to play sport and play sport for the house rather than for the school team or whatever. So everyone's, you know, just embrace. Yes, you know, you're not be the best at it, but you can give this a go.
Yeah.
And those things, are key to now doing what we do, because look, there's many occasions where we're not the best at what we're doing. Yeah. You're scared. You have bad days. I wouldn't say I ever feel like giving up.
Okay.
I must say that point hasn't come, and I would probably say it hasn't come yet, because having spoken to other, you know, entrepreneurs, those moments do happen. But when there are days when you don't really know what you're doing, and you are thinking, oh, what am I doing with my life? I could have been an extension and a manager and living comfortably and whatever. And you know, having that discipline just to go through the routine of what you do each day. You know, from what you're waking up and what you're eating for breakfast, and then, you know, get on with your work and finish that certain time. All those things, they kind of get you through those bad days. Yeah. And then there's the passion and the love for what you're doing. Yeah.
No, that's. Sorry to go on, but
the
discipline is so true, because I think actually what I found quite difficult when we started is I was coming from basically 2 years of no discipline, because up until uni I was, then I went to Martinique, and there was like, Martinique was just like a
freedom.
Yeah, I was just doing whatever, whenever. I worked 12 hours a week. So I'd go down to South, I'd be just out, and then again in France, we were just all this free time where I wasn't trying to get to an end goal. Yeah. So when we came back, I remember I had this like quite a big adjustment period where I was trying to put order back into my life, and also like it was really difficult for me, because I remember watching all my friends like go off and do stuff and I felt like I was behind, and I remember there was probably the first 18 months I was doing this where I just found it really hard in a way that I don't find it now. Like, it's hard, the work is hard, but like mentally it's not as hard, because I know I'm in the right place now, and like I've got all my structure back in. So I go to bed at a certain time, I have my alarm clock that goes off at a certain time,
morning rituals or something like
like
that.
Literally it's just like, so I don't have to think about things, even like when I asked you earlier what to wear, because I wear black normally. Like, I basically have a uniform, so I don't even have to think. I'm just like, okay, cool, black leggings, black vest top, let's go.
I think Mark Zuckerberg says that as well. He has the same grey t-shirt.
There's a reason why people do that, because when you've got so many other things to think about, literally think about what you're eating for breakfast, thinking about where you're going to work, thinking about what you're going to eat for dinner, thinking about what you're going to wear. That is just wasted energy. Like, your brain, you can't handle it. You just need to know, all right, every time someone's asked me that breakfast question in the last couple of weeks, it's been the same answer, because I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm eating. And
it's like just subconscious.
You do allow yourself room for creativity, but like having
sometimes you have raisins.
But having some certain things which just like routine, just get it done. But it's kind of funny what you said about the clothes, because I had to go shopping at the beginning of the year, and I was like, it was so hell, because basically I had certain items which were now tatty, and all I was trying to do was find exactly the same items.
Like a Simpsons character.
Absolutely. In the end, I got one of the jumpers which I was supposed to replace. I just ended up getting it repaired. I was like, boom, fantastic. Same blue chinos, same black jeans. Like, I'm like, I'm good to go again. Like, do you know what I mean?
I can imagine opening your wardrobe, it would just be the same outfit next to each other.
I have variants. I have 8 different black tops, and when they're all done, I'm like,
you said 80 or
8.
Fine, yeah.
I'm like, I'm not a minimalist, but I definitely like cleared out all my excess. But if you don't get worn, you go into a suitcase for a few months, and then you go in the bin.
It's like a halfway house, and then bin or charity or whatever else it might be. So I wanted to move on to the present today. What does Chuku's look like today? Or how would you describe it if someone asked you?
The Chuku's today is essentially an extension of mine and Emeka's home. It currently operates as a pop-up, and so we'll take over a restaurant or a cafe space, and it's literally, as I say, we'll recreate a version of our home. There'll be a photo frame, there'll be Afrobeats music playing, and then we go a bit further and extend out the Nigerian culture. So all the tables have a Nigerian name and their meaning on them.
Yeah.
There's a British Hall of Fame, celebrating British Nigerians.
Yeah.
And then there'll be proverbs around on the walls, and it's really just a welcoming, open environment, which gets filled by open, welcome people. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I think, as I said before, that food's really important for us, but we're all about an immersive dining experience. Yeah. The idea is that we will whisk people off to Lagos, from London in an evening, and the magic kind of happens when we bring our 3 elements together: the chop, chat, chill. So chop is Nigerian pidgin for eat, and as I say, it shows that Nigerian food is at the heart of what we do, with bringing authentic flavours, which we put our own spin, our own style in it, and have the tapas concept, which is all about the sharing plates, so that people can get a real sense of variety of flavours and really experience Nigeria in a multitude of ways. The chat, and that's all about the social element. We mentioned already about tapas and social dining culture, and really sharing the moment, really sharing the experience.
That's one thing I loved when I visited, by the way. You were actually talking to all the guests, and I think some restaurants are so guilty of just, here's your food and see you later, and here's the bill afterwards, but you actually engage in conversation as well.
You know, it's funny, people say that, we're talking to the guests. Funny enough, I would say guests are talking to us. I do say that, like, the guests bring such an energy and such a vibe. They really bring themselves, and that's what we really encourage with our whole concept. Is bring yourself and be comfortable enough that you could speak to another customer, or you could speak to the staff. Speak to your who you've come with. So many times you see people eating out, and maybe you just be on their phone, or they're not really you have a very stale kind of conversation. This is about really being present in the moment. As I say, with Nigerian social dining culture, food is at the heart of all those events. Of course. And so, Chuku's is first of all a social environment. And then we have food there for you to enjoy whilst we're
afterwards.
There. And then whilst you're doing that, chill, relax. Be immersed in this wonderful experience, from the music, from the artwork that Ife's just talked about, from the proverbs, the whole kind of Nigerian culture, and for us to be able to just showcase some of the beauty of Nigeria, which isn't always necessarily described and represented as we would like.
So I mean, it all seemed very relaxed when I was there, but I know for a fact afterwards when I left, you guys were there until like 2 a.m. I saw you post something on Instagram going, just finished, but I left at like 5 p.m. I mean, I was going to ask, what does a day in the life of you guys look like outside of the
no chop chat chill.
No chop chat. I know that for a fact.
So to clarify, that was because that was our final day of that pop-up. So normally you can close down a restaurant within like an hour. It was that because we had to take all our stuff back out because the owners were coming back the next day. It was a long day. What is a day in a life for us like? Varied, really varied. I think it's hard to say what an average day is like, but the thing that I think kind of what you see is still though a bit what it's like. So when Emeka and I are serving, or if you pass us through the kitchen, we'll still be cracking jokes, and that's what it's like when we work together. Like Emeka will take.
You're looking at me like I'm
not. I can't even explain how funny he is, because the thing is, I don't want to make his jokes. I don't want to repeat some of his jokes in an interview.
Feel free,
No.
If it's too bad, we can cut it out. So.
But basically, so he will send me, for example, the other day, he sent me a series text, and like the first 3 were all to do with the business. I'm like, yeah, okay, read it. And the 4th one was just an out of this world hilarious comment, and it just threw me. But that's exactly what it's like. So we work hard and we play hard, and our parents are like that. Our parents are very playful, and that's what our atmosphere is like. A lot of emails, a lot of emails. Like sometimes, so on the tube down, I was like, okay, I'm going through my emails, going through my text messages, and I was just on replying to the ones you can do off the cuff.
Of course,
But it just all depends.
So it's when the restaurant's open, so we'll have to obviously sort out the ordering the supplies.
Yep.
So come in in the morning, set supplies, maybe I've got an order in.
Yeah.
You know, just restock everything, and then we usually have a sit down, have a management meeting, and we'll discuss, you know, how things were the day before, you know, what we're thinking about for the next day. Start bringing the team on board, and you know, if they all start looking at bookings, so she's like the general manager, so she'll be looking at, okay, how many people we're looking to bring in today. You know, we think about what any sort of marketing that we could be doing.
Yeah, of course.
And then
it's multifaceted. Then you sort of do lots and sort of all throughout the day, really.
Yeah, and then obviously then the prep for the food.
So moving on to social media, how important would you guys say that is in today's day and age in general, but how important has it been for your brand and your business itself?
Yeah.
Because that's pretty much how I found out about Chuku's, and I guess most of the leads and most of the sources are going to come from there. But how important have you found that's been for your brand?
So important.
So important.
Social media is the way we have grown. Social media and word of mouth is the 2 biggest drivers of getting customers or guests into the door. So we have had a lot of great PR coverage as well, but PR is more of a longer game, like PR and content marketing. Like people will see you 3 times. So even yourself, you said your friend went, you'd heard about us, and then you read about us. Often it takes people like 3 or 4 like contact points before they all come in. But social media has just been everything, because when we started, we didn't even have a website. We created a Facebook event or something. And so just being able to share what we've been doing with people and reach such a wide range of people. That's how we've been able to get across to even Nigeria, that people know what we're doing over there, and even over to the States. And just being able to spread the word. And I think even since the time we've started this, like video on social media has grown so much, and actually massively. That has been really helpful for us as well, in being able to share our story and being able to share the people behind the brand, so that actually people can know that this isn't just a faceless restaurant popping up. Actually, there is, that we are siblings, and we are, because if you tell people you're fun, no one ever believes you're fun. Do you know what I mean? If you go, we're a fun brother and sister pair, and we have so much fun. We love Nigerian food, and we love each other so much. It just sounds like, okay, whatever. But actually, social media allows us to put out content that actually shows that's actually what we're like, and give that behind the scenes.
I actually think the story behind the business is just so important, because if it's just a bog standard Nigerian restaurant, I feel it's not going to resonate as much. So a good reason as to why I think it's more exciting and it sticks in your head more is because it's a brother and sister duo. Would you say that's had more of an impact at all on the business, or do you guys try and focus on the story as much when you're pitching or when you're trying to get more people to come through?
No, I think we understand that is a unique thing. And that's a thing that people really do enjoy. You know, not only is our mum super proud, but other people just super proud to see. Like, I think it's quite funny actually how many Nigerian African parents are so proud to see like the two siblings, and then sometimes they have their like daughter or son,
and you see them looking,
and they go, see, so you can do this too.
And then they smile. They're just well done, well done. It's their well done.
And then they turn to look at you like, I'm busy, I'm doing something else. Like, always, I know what you mean. So
we very much try to like share a story. Like, you know, I think fundamentally we are storytellers. Storytellers of African culture and Nigerian culture. Of the food. But then also there's a lot of people who are, you know, just as young as us, as our own peers, who want to know like, well, how did you go about doing this? You know, how is that journey? And people actually want to be part of that journey. So massively. I think, you know, why not share that with them? And then I think also just in terms of marketing, it's a good thing. I mean, I remember reading about Richard Branson, and he talks about, you know, how much he started putting himself into it. And there's loads of brands which are not as orientated around the founders.
Yeah.
But I think where you've got such a story to share, which people
use
like,
that massively.
yeah, it makes sense to use that as well.
Yeah. Where do you guys see Chuku's very long term, basically? What is the vision? What do you guys visualize it? The long term vision, where you see it in the long term future.
So our primary focus is opening our first permanent site. That's what we want. We want people to, like yourself, to be able to experience what you experienced when you came, every day of the week. Because our mission is to put Nigerian food on the UK map, and actually as a pop-up we're limited,
of course,
as how we can do that. And then going forward, Emeka and I have some very exciting plans. We've created a whole vision board around what we want to go on to do. It took me, when I did my personal one, it took me 2 months to finish it. I started it and I took a 2-month break and I came back to it. That's why I said when, because you don't commit to it otherwise. But when you've done it, it is
makes a difference.
Strong. I'm a former consultant.
Yeah.
So I know about Excel and PowerPoint. So my life is on an Excel spreadsheet. So I have my life tracker.
Because you said that in the stiffest voice as well. Just be like, I have no personality. I love Excel.
Look, there's a lot of fun.
You do sound
but
like
then, it's great. I got my life for those tracker, and I'm like, I need to be doing that in the next 3 years, and then obviously put the vision onto a PowerPoint. And I can
fair enough.
PDF it.
That's how you operate. It works for you.
But just start on the vision board, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Even just I've even got loads of magazines. I keep collecting Time Out and stuff like that because I'm already preparing for next year's one.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm really into that. Where was I? What I was saying? So we've got a vision board of all the things that we want to do, but I don't want to share them all. But basically, our end goal is to become the UK's leading African culture brand.
Okay, so not necessarily just a restaurant then.
We don't think we're just a restaurant now.
I like that. Okay.
We do see ourselves as a brand. You see the things that we do from our social media to our marketing, to our blog. All are very much about sharing culture. So we've done a lot of interviews with Nigerian athletes. With writers. I think we'd hope to do some things with some musicians. We've done it with some poets, playwrights, and we on our social media, for example, we always sharing things about this plays out, which is written by a Nigerian or things like that. So for us already, we feel our brand is a cultural brand. And it's a lifestyle brand as that. And currently, the current phase that we're in is the focus is on the food and the restaurant. And that's going to be a focus for a while because there's a lot of work to be done around that.
You've got to master that first.
We have to. We have to master that in terms of actually first of all making the transition to running a permanent site, and then make sure we run that really, really successfully. Of course. Before start to think about other things. So
that makes sense. Cool. Right, I've got 13 questions that you've got to give an answer to.
Isn't it?
It just happened to be 13.
I'm so stressed by this already. I've got flashbacks to the first thing we did.
None of them are wild. I just want the first thing that comes to your mind to be your answer, basically. So I'm going to ask the question and...
So then we both...
You give your answer, then you give your answer afterwards.
All right, okay, cool.
Cool. No timer this time around, so it doesn't feel like it's that stressful. But first question, one book that changed your life.
Anyone Can Do It. I forget the authors, but they're sibling Bobby and Sahar Hashemi.
Anyone that can do it.
Anyone can do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
The story of Coffee Republic, basically. I just say that because if you Google Anyone Can Do It, there's another book with that title.
Okay. Cool.
Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert T. Kiyosaki. Yeah, I read it at 13. I remember, and that very much changed my ideas around money, finance, and also I think that instilled this idea in me that I wanted to run my own business, or rather. The difference between being having a business and being an entrepreneur and just owning a business and working in your business as well.
Okay, definitely. I'm going to check those out when I listen back. One person that's influenced your life the most?
My dad.
I like that. Can you elaborate?
I'm a dad. From the way.
So is. Oh my God, he's mad.
My dad.
My dad, from the way that I be able to switch from being very serious to very, very playful. In terms of the way I think about opportunities, the pattern of my speech. I'm I'm very grateful to have him as in my life in terms of being able to model myself as a man.
Yeah.
I think he's being a fantastic father, a fantastic.
He is. He could write
a fantastic entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Just a fantastic friend to so many people, and that inspires me. And hopefully, I'm doing him proud. So
nice.
Can I choose two?
Which one came to your mind first?
They came together because I met my parents. So
cool.
They came
problem,
to mind together because in some ways similar to what Emeka said. Like they've both had different influences in me. Like for example, even just my uni choices. My mum really pushed me to go for Cambridge when I didn't want to.
Yeah.
And I think both of them have encouraged me to push to my fullest potential.
Yeah.
And whenever I've wavered, and I just think the way that I am is very much like the two of them. Like as Emeka said, I'm really serious, but I'm also really playful.
Yeah.
But this idea that I can do whatever I want to do if I put my mind to it. Like I've had that message drummed into me from both of them. Like I'm brilliant. I am so capable, and that's like what I've got from the two of them. And then in the way they've raised my siblings, which I've then benefited from. Yeah. Like it's they are like my rock and my everything. So it's the two of them, the parents collectively.
Okay, cool. One movie that's changed your life the most.
I don't really watch movies.
Or your favourite movie, if you want to call it that.
The first thing that came to my head, actually, I don't know if it's my favourite movie, but I do. I was going to say Spice Girls movie. I really love the Spice Girls, man.
I like that one too.
I really love the Spice Girls. And it's like a film you can never get bored of.
Yeah.
But then I also, I really love Set It Off when they rob a bank.
Yeah.
Film's mad.
Ideal.
I won't rewatch it because there's a scene in it that makes me cry, but it's a serious kind of film.
If anything,
what? No way! Oh my god!
I know what I'm saying.
What?
What?
I forgot. Yeah.
Cool Runnings.
Okay. Do you want to take your answer back and say Cool Runnings?
No, because he was saying it. But
Cool Runnings.
Cool Runnings.
Oh my god! Yeah.
The Jamaican bobsleigh team.
Yeah.
Doing something which
What?
It's like blasphemous. I know.
So when we were growing up, we watched it a lot. If and I knew every single word. And it's really funny because it's not that great a movie. You think? You think it's not that great a movie. It's a Disney movie, I think.
Yeah.
So it's not like a crazy plot twist or anything. It makes
Scripting that great.
Yeah. Acting. The guys' Jamaican accents are just quite shocking. Now I'm an adult. I'm like.
At the time, I thought they were really convincing.
Yeah. But I watched it back about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's really inspiring, actually.
Yeah.
I watched it as an adult while I was doing this, and I was like, I was really moved. And I wonder how much of an influence that actually had. Yeah. And us, because we were, two siblings who knew that story inside out. And there are moments where it's just literally like, they're like, it's our time, we're going to go and do it. And, all against the odds. And I think it is quite an inspirational movie, actually. Yeah. It's not a great movie.
And it also doesn't have the happy ending like you expect. That's the thing. It's not like, I don't want to ruin it for you, but it's not like they
it's a bit real at the end.
Yeah, it's not like they win the prize they went for, but what happens is they keep going.
Yeah. Okay.
And actually, I'm actually going to stop because it's making me feel emotional.
No, it does. But they win an even bigger prize. Yeah. That's the thing. And that's
okay.
In many ways.
Now we need to talk about it. Make me feel emotional.
Cool Runnings.
I'll watch it. One quote that you live by.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a quote, but what I live by is love to live to love.
Okay.
Too many came to my head. But this one sticks with me actually. I remember it was Year 3 assembly, and I'm pretty sure Mrs. Bunnage said it. And she must have given us a parable beforehand. And she said, do unto others as you would have done unto you. Okay. And it's something that just sticks with me. Like sometimes even when we're doing the business, I see people do things. I'm like, why would you have done that? That wasn't a very nice thing to do. Yeah. And even sometimes, in particular online on social media, I don't think you would like someone to do that to you. Yeah. And that's just kind of like something that's just stuck with me. So. Okay.
It was just to.
Live to love, love to live.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Love to live to love. Either way. It doesn't really matter. But the whole point is that it's all about positive energy. Yeah. For me, putting positive energy into the world, and just loving what you're doing, loving yourself, loving people. I think we're a very big heart family, like very much heart on our sleeves. Yeah. And that's kind of the sort of thing, that kind of idea that I kind of always put out into the world. And I think the other thing is, then doing things that you're passionate about,
and
makes you happy, because this life is actually quite short. And being able to go where you want to and speak to the people that you want to speak with, and also thinking about who are those people who are really giving you love. That you should probably, or it actually makes sense to give love back. I think it's very easy to be distracted by a whole multitude of things, but actually who you're actually not getting a positive energy back, and you're giving out, you're giving out love and not getting it. Really just do. I always encourage people to think about that. Those grandmothers who maybe you don't really see enough, and how good you feel the day after you went and saw them.
That makes me know I need to go to Nigeria this Christmas. I haven't seen my grandmother in about 10 years. Always asking. Anyway, side note.
You've got a long to-do list after this.
I'm making notes.
I'll be checking up.
My God. Biggest natural strength?
My energy.
Energy?
Yeah, really, just really energetic. It's my biggest strength, and because of that, that's probably why I say what I say, because I feel I need to make sure I protect it and give it to the right people. I think it's something which means that I feel I can do more than most people in a day. But also I can give it to people and give them that sort of like buzz and that inspiration. And obviously what we're doing now, and I put a lot of energy into Chukus, and hopefully that's impacting a lot of different people.
All right, so I'm going to answer, but I want you to, after answer, to tell me what you think mine is, because I'm curious. I was going to say, I umbrella them normally actually underneath my childlikeness, but I call it my creativity and curiosity. Like for me, I just a why person. I was talking to someone the other day, they're like, why do you ask why all the time? Like, because I don't know why. Like, why wouldn't I ask why? And I think that asking those questions gets me to places. And I'm just really, I didn't even think I was creative until I just, everyone kept telling me you're so creative, and the way I just think, like in my head, everything is possible. And I'm a big dreamer, and that's not saying I'm out there with the clouds. It's literally I just think everything's possible, and then I'll have a massive dream. Basically. I'll have a massive dream, and then I'll think, let me try now, go for it. I think my creativity and curiosity
together, 2 C's again.
What would you say though?
I think it's I don't know how the best way to articulate is. So it's probably the best way to just do it is about how we think as business. I'll maybe say like, oh cool, like I want this, like they want this thing to happen, and if they will be able to logically think through and actually make something like that happen. Like, and I might get a little bit stuck, and I know what I want to do, but I just think if it's really great at just like
being anal.
Fine.
Fine. Putting actually order.
Actually that's definitely one of them as well.
Okay, fine. Order or discipline is what you sort of go for.
Not the discipline.
I'm really ordered. So really ordered.
All right, we're gonna speed through the rest of them if that's okay.
Cool. How many more we got to go?
We've got 7 more to go.
Okay, cool.
8 more to go.
Okay.
So just quick fire. So biggest weakness.
Self-doubt.
Okay. Iffy?
Yeah, I would say the same.
Self-doubt as well?
Yeah.
Fine. Biggest pet peeve?
Rude people. Like people on the tube who are just rude. But like people who are just a bit rude in general.
Rudeness.
Like, people who are quite rude.
Yeah, mine's similar. Going back to that, do unto others as you'd have done to you. I don't understand why people do certain things. Also, being late, knowing you were going to be late and not communicating you were going to be late, Mum.
Okay.
Like, why?
That's the biggest pet peeve. The second one you said is definitely well, you said it. But being late. Favorite city.
I love being in Lagos. Yeah. So I mean, I went back there. There was we used to go back as kids, and then there was a long time I didn't go back there for like 15 years. And obviously you've grown up in the UK, and just being in Nigeria, it's not actually the city where or the state where our family's from. But the fact is, it's the place which we usually go back to Nigeria, and just for someone to say like welcome home, you know, can't really beat that. And then for me, second one is probably Madrid because I was there for a long time. I loved it. Yes.
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but it's like when someone's taking your heart and you don't really love them, you don't really want to love them, but you're still stuck loving them. I'm actually going to say London.
Okay.
I think in particular, like with the summer and the game and everything, like I just when it's on form, it's a really wonderful place to be. It's just not on form enough.
Yeah, it's not consistent enough.
Yeah.
Cool. Favourite dish?
Eba and Ogusi.
Same, but I'm not answering.
I'm so basic. Just give me rice and plantain.
Okay,
Not even
fair
jollof rice,
enough.
it's just rice, stew and
Just
plantain.
rice, stew and plantain.
I can bang that every day.
Okay, cool. What's one thing you would change about the restaurant industry if you could?
Ooh.
Oh, I'd make it, same with most things I've changed, I'd just
Yeah.
make it more accessible from a financial point of view. Because I think there are a lot of people, not just in the restaurant industry, but in many industries that have really great ideas and are put off or are stopped
Yeah.
or held back because of the finances.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to say two things. I think the professionality,
Yeah.
like, because there's not necessarily licenses for people to get involved in it,
Yeah.
then you do get some people who are just not really that qualified
Yeah.
or to do it, or don't really have that love for it.
Yeah.
And I think the big thing about that, which leads to the second thing, is that people forget that it's hospitality,
Okay,
and
fine.
that you should be wanting to take care of those who walk into your doors first.
Yeah.
And yes, I know, like, it's razor thin margins, and we all need to make money, and
Yeah.
that's really imperative for us as a business. But
Yeah.
like, you need to take care of those who come in. Like, just cater to them first. And if you don't really love that about the industry, then
It's not. You shouldn't really be in
the
it.
industry.
Cool. What advice would you give your 15-year-old self?
Stop stressing. So after that was been my biggest issue, and I was worried so much about everything at that
Self-doubt.
time.
Yeah.
And I've gone on to do so much more than I thought I was ever capable of. So just
Okay. Stop stressing.
relax.
Relax. Chill out.
Focus my energies.
Okay.
And I think critically at that age, it's probably like on the right people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And last question: if you ruled the world, what's the first thing you would change? Cliche, but I love it. If you ruled the world, what's the first thing you would change?
It's not really that big, yeah, but like, I've always thought, if I have my own business,
Yeah.
I would stop people from having lunch at their desk. Like, you always really
I love
used
that. That's a
to,
perfect
you used to
change.
really annoy me.
Yeah.
Like, I think just like
Okay.
take a break, go and eat your lunch,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
come back to work. Yeah, it's not really about
expecting
not
that.
really about ruling the
I
world.
was
but
expecting something
that's
more
all.
like-
So because when you ask that question, I think you basically give me like magic.
Yeah.
I would just make it so that it could be sunny, like there was
Okay.
sun all the time, and we didn't need rain. So it wouldn't be like a drought. We just
Yeah,
wouldn't need
you just
rain.
wouldn't need rain.
Because
Plants would
I
grow
just think
anyway.
everyone is so much happier in the sun.
Okay.
And those that aren't, get out of my world.
It's hot all the time. It's like all
No.
everything.
I didn't say it was always going to be really hot.
Alright.
Yeah.
But like you can have sun. It's just nice, blue sky.
Sometimes the rain's nice. Football. Yeah, it's the wet football pitch.
What did I say? Those
It's
who want the
sliding.
rain can get out of my
Every
world.
now and then,
Okay.
every now and then.
Well,
Fair
when
enough.
maybe
UK's got too much rain because I feel like, say, like when it rains sometimes, and it's like that thunderous rain. It's quite like
but you need the heat. All right, fine.
Yeah.
I'll tweak it exactly, but it's to do with the weather and temperature. Because honestly, I'm so driven.
I
by
think
how
it's temp. I think it's temperature. That's the
Whose
thing.
world is it?
This is her question.
We run the
by the way.
business together. It's out my word as well now.
No, you.
I can just monopolise in the
You
world.
concentrate on not letting people eat at their
Yeah,
desk.
exactly.
You're
It's
so
her business now.
exciting.
Let her have her silence.
I can't believe that was your one, you know.
That's
Anyway.
what, yeah, that's what came to mind. You said the first thing that came to
No,
my
it's
head.
a visual pet peeve anyway.
Cool. Well, those are the 30 questions done. Thank you guys very much for coming down today. I genuinely, really, really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And I wish you all the best success in the future.
And
Thank
you.
you.
Pleasure.
Thank
Thanks
you
very
very
much.
much. Cheers.
Great.
Thank you.